Welcome to The Explainer. So today, we are jumping right into a story that starts with a world leader, a cup of coffee, and a viral video that had the entire internet asking, is this real or is it a deepfake? What happened next was a wild digital mystery that totally blurred the lines between what's real and what's artificial intelligence. Okay, so this is the video that lit the match. It's Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, just sitting in a coffee shop trying to prove he's alive and well after this storm of online rumors. It was supposed to be a simple, hey, I'm still here video, but as you're about to see, it did the exact opposite. Because almost right away, Grok, Elon Musk's AI that's famous for its super confident and sometimes, let's say, unfiltered answers, made this explosive claim. It said, with 100% certainty, that the video was a deepfake. And that sent social media into an absolute frenzy and turned this whole thing into a fascinating, high-stakes puzzle. So how in the world did we get here? How does a simple video of a guy drinking coffee become the focus of a huge international deepfake controversy? Well, as we're going to see, it's a perfect storm of geopolitics, internet rumors, and our own shifting idea of what's even real anymore. You see, the video was his direct and pretty sarcastic response to those rumors that he'd been assassinated. He uses this Hebrew play on words that basically means I'm dying for a coffee to make fun of the whole he's dead story. And that little detail about counting his 5 fingers, that's going to become really important. But here's where it gets really, really interesting. To get why the coffee video blew up like it did, we actually have to rewind a few days. We have to go back to a completely different video and a very specific kind of strange anatomical glitch that really set the stage for all this chaos. So it all kicked off with these whispers online about his death. Then he gives this press conference, and that's when the internet sleuths, poring over every single frame, spotted something that seemed to confirm all their wildest theories. And there it is. For just a split second, it looks like he has 6 fingers. This one blurry screenshot became the smoking gun for conspiracy theorists. They were all over it, saying it was a classic AI glitch, absolute proof that the real prime minister was gone and had been replaced by a deepfake. Which brings us right back to the coffee shop video. Now, this video was meant to shut down that 6-finger rumor for good. Instead, it was like pouring gasoline on the fire. It just created an even bigger debate. So the internet basically split right down the middle. On one side, you had these digital detectives and Grok AI pointing to what they said was clear visual evidence of a fake. And on the other side, you had the Prime Minister's office and a local cafe using, old-fashioned real-world proof. The folks yelling fake had a pretty juicy list of oddities. They pointed to the coffee in his cup. It never seems to go down. The shape of his face, they said, subtly changes. And his jacket moves in a weird, unnatural way. These were all considered classic signs of a digital forgery. And of course, Grok's confident 100% deepfake analysis pretty much sealed the deal for a lot of people.
But on the flip side, the case for it being real was just as strong, even if it was a lot more conventional. The Prime Minister's office put out an official denial, and in a very 21st century move, the cafe where the video was shot posted its own photos to Instagram confirming he was there.
And this right here, this is the heart of the whole thing, isn't it? On one hand, you have an AI's sophisticated, seemingly fact-based analysis. And on the other, you have a local business, a real-world place, just proudly posting on social media. So who do you believe, the algorithm or the barista? So what was really going on? To figure out the truth, we need to understand why so many people were so ready, so primed to believe this was a deepfake in the first place. And the answer, believe it or not, takes us all the way back to those 6 fingers. All right, so let's put this first mystery to bed. Those 6 fingers, they were never there. Fact-checkers broke down the video frame by frame, and it turns out it was just a simple optical illusion. A mix of light, motion blur, and the low-res video making the fleshy part of his palm look like an extra finger for just a second. So why did everyone's brain immediately jump to AI glitch? Well, it's because of this well-known thing in the AI world called the 6-finger benchmark. For a long time, it's been a classic, almost like an inside joke, a giveaway that an image is made by AI.
This has been a classic AI tell for years. I mean, think about it. Faces, they're pretty consistent, but hands? They're in all sorts of positions in photos. Fists, waves, holding things. The AI just gets confused by all that variation and sometimes just adds an extra finger to fill a gap it doesn't quite get. And now that the public knows about this, we've all become super sensitive to any weirdness involving hands.
And that leads us to this incredible paradox, a real head-scratcher, which is summed up perfectly in this quote. Our growing awareness of how AI can trick us is now actually causing us to mistrust reality itself. We're starting to see ghosts in the machine that aren't even there. So look, this is way more than just a funny story about a viral video. It's really a perfect case study of the kind of challenges we're all facing in this new age of AI, where that old saying, seeing is believing, well, it just doesn't really apply anymore. Because what this whole thing really highlights is how you can get this perfect storm of different elements that cook up a massive, super convincing wave of misinformation that becomes almost impossible to stop.
I mean, just break it down. You had a tense political situation that was basically a breeding ground for conspiracies. You had the insane speed of social media spreading the rumor everywhere in minutes. You had our own pattern-seeking brains tricking us into seeing something that wasn't there. And maybe the biggest piece of all, you had an AI chatbot presenting its totally wrong analysis with absolute certainty, and a lot of people just took it as gospel.
And it all leaves us with this huge, kind of scary question for the future, right? As AI gets better and better and deepfakes become truly perfect, I mean, literally indistinguishable from reality, how are we supposed to agree on what's real anymore? What does proof even mean in a world where we can't trust our own eyes?